today. Still a nice day. So you got yourself a ukulele. Maybe you don't have yourself a ukulele. You're like, dude, I want to be a ukulele master. I don't even own one. I don't know the first thing about buying a ukulele. What do I do if I want to buy a ukulele? You want one of these? Okay. So, since the pandemic showed up and everybody's addicted to Amazon, and especially at school, my students have been ordering ukuleles off Amazon like nobody's business. And this scares me terribly. Having said that, I'd say 80% of the time, 90% of the time, the ukuleles that they're getting, and they're getting a pretty good deal on them, they come delivered to your house, they're really nice. I gotta say that so far, most everybody's been lucky. 10-15% of the time, we got to do some adjustments on them. They need some fret work. They got a buzz of death. I'm never, ever, ever going to buy a ukulele that I can't play first. Because, because that's what it's got to be good. Especially if I'm dumping the kind of money you're on. In Canada, we have something called a hardwood tax. And since the pandemic, everybody's playing ukuleles, so availability is a little short. Prices have gone up big time. Used to be able to get a Mahalo, that UA1 starter Mahalo around here for about like 30-35 bucks. And now they're going from somewhere between 50 and 75. And while I love the starter Mahalo for kids and beginner, and listen, if you don't know if you like ukuleles yet, do not spend $100 on a ukulele. Get a ukulele that you can afford and bash around a little bit, and if you like it, you'll get UAS. What's UAS? It's a terrible disease. It's called ukulele acquisition syndrome. I have it pretty bad. As a matter of fact, right now, currently my family is working on a lot of protocols that make sure. Listen, I now make ukuleles just to deal with my UAS, so I don't have to buy them anymore. I'll buy the parts. But anyways, so you want to buy a ukulele and you're not sure exactly how to go about it. Like I said, I have to play it before I go and buy it. And simply just go to a place that sells ukuleles. Guitar shops, music stores. Frank's saying hi to the neighbors. I gotta get a room full of ukuleles. I'm gonna take my in-app tuner, or I'm going to ask the store for a snark. I rarely bring my own snark because I don't want to get confused with the store, but I want a tuner with me. And I'm going to play down a whole bunch of ukuleles. I'm going to play, I'm just going to keep playing them. I'll play every one. There are certain brands that I'm going to stay away from, but due to slander, I am not going to say them online here that I don't like them. I also want to know kind of, what I'm looking for. Am I looking for a starter ukulele? Am I looking for something a little bit more high-end that I'm going to use for performances and gigs and recording? You kind of have to have this idea about what's happening and have a price range so that you don't get sucked out. Step one, do you like the way this sounds? Step one, if it sounds like a toy, or it sounds tinny, or just muffled or anything like that, put it down. You find one that you like. The next thing I'm going to check for is I'm going to check for a buzz. I'm going to check for something that's interfering, nut, bridge, frets. And I'm going to play each string, and I'm going to play each string down the frets. There's a little buzz on that one, actually. You see? You hear that? You have to look at that. If there's a little buzz, it won't stop me entirely from buying because they are ukuleles. And next change and sort of temperature and all the other stuff goes with it. But you'll pick up every once in a while, especially in guitar stores, you'll get one and it'll have like this nasty death rattle on it. I'm fabricating that rattle. And just put it back. You don't want it. Yes, you could take it to a luthier. Yes, you can take it to a lot of the guitar places will promise that they have a guitar tech who can take care of it for you. They can't. Intonation, that's a fancy word for tuning. With a tuner on here, I'm going to make sure that it's in tune, and I'm going to chromatically check every single string up to the 12th fret. You can go past the 12th fret. What am I looking for here? If I'm going to play the third string here, C, and on the tuner, my next note should be a a C sharp, and it should be in tune. And I'm going to look at the tuner to make sure that all the notes stay in tune. The math here is that this nut and this bridge and this 12th fret have to be equidistant apart. So this has to be exactly, the 12th fret has to be exactly halfway. If it's not halfway, your ukulele won't be in tune. And it might be just slightly out. So you're playing up here, and this sounds wonderful. And then you get down to here, and everything goes squanky on you. I want to make sure that every string is intonated. And again, you luthier or a tech can fix this for you, but better off just take that thing and put it on the shelf. It doesn't intonate. I definitely want to check the 12th fret. I want to make sure on the tuner that the 12th fret is in fact reasonably, amazingly close to being in tune before I spend any kind of money on it. And I'm going to do that on all 4 strings. All 4 strings I need it to be intonated because I'm not spending any money. Alright, so you found a nice ukulele and it doesn't have any buzz and it's in tune. What's next? Well, how does it feel? How does it sit in your hands? How does your thumb feel on the back? Is it too rounded? Is the neck too wide? Is the neck too thick? Are the frets too far apart? You want to make sure it feels nice. Run your hand up and down like this. Are you getting scratched from the frets? If the frets weren't sanded and installed correctly, they stick out on the end here. This is beautiful, by the way. This is like petting a new kitten. This is beautiful. One of my first ukuleles, my Jack Daniel, is the uke of death. You'll shred your hands to tear. The frets hang out on both sides, I just learned how to play it, and I was so naive when I bought it. It never even occurred to me that you're not supposed to cut your hands to ribbons when you move it. But general feel. Weight of it. Is it heavy? Is it light? Is it too light? Is it too heavy? Next, is it pretty? Look how pretty this is. Look at the inlay here. It's got the cutout down here, so I can do like lots of fancy pentatonic scales and stuff down here. I like the cup. Don't kid yourself. If it's not pretty, I mean, you're saying, oh, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Well, of course it does. You got to go to those ukulele meetings with the ukulele Illuminati, and they'll be hanging out with their Nashville and their pearl inlays and all the stuff like that. They'll be showing off this single wood Hawaiian. Oh man! And you walk in there with some kind of okay. It doesn't matter what it looks like, but it matters what it looks like. You have to be happy with your ukulele. If it's ugly, who wants to play an ugly ukulele? Price. Don't get soaked. Carbon fiber. Whatever they're telling you what kind of wood it's made out of. I like to look here, right here, on the ridge here, and if it doesn't have a fancy inlay on it, you can tell whether it's veneer and plywood. Plywood doesn't sound as good. I look at the amount of paint that's on it because I don't want it to be massively shellacked. Certain companies put like 400 tons of shellac on them to seal them, and I don't think they sound as good, but they may look really, really, really awesome. But decide what you're spending, right? If it's your first ukulele and you're dropping like 200 and change, pearl inlays don't sound any better. Make sure that you can play before you know, especially if you're like me and you're buying like 50, 60, 10,000 ukuleles, you don't want to pay $1 million for each one of them because, boy, does your wife get mad. Pickups, bindings around the outside, tuners, built-in tuners. They're all real nice, but they're not necessary because what you need is something that sounds good, that has 4 strings on it, that plays in tune, that has nice feel. So all of those things that they're going to sell you on, and they're going to say, oh, it's got bindings all the way through, it's got neck bindings. And you're like, okay, but bindings don't sound anything. Are you going to bash your little sister in the head with the ukulele? Then don't worry about the bindings. Lastly, the best way to deal with buyer's remorse after you buy a ukulele and you're like, oh no, I bought myself it, just play it. You know, I got a basement full of them, and as my wife likes to point out, how many do you need? You can only play one at a time. Okay, but I need one in D, and I need one with a drop G. I need a soprano. I need a concert tenor, baritone. I need a bass. I need the one that I travel with. I need the one that I record with. I have one that floats so that I can use it when I go fishing. You embrace your inner UAS until it gets to the point where it's a problem, and then, just start making your own ukuleles. Anyways, those are my tips for buying a ukulele and getting yourself set up. You have a great day, and we will see you next time. Take care.